Why does it feel like no matter what I do, I'm always behind? Do you ever feel like that? You're not alone. So many of us are hustling, working harder than ever, yet still feel like we're just treading water. In this journey, we're going to uncover the shocking truths no one talks about when it comes to money, investing, and financial freedom. It all started for me when I was just a kid, selling pencils and notebooks at school. I was 10, and I thought I had it all figured out. But making a few bucks wasn't enough. I had this burning desire to understand more, to figure out how the whole system worked. That feeling followed me as I got older. I started my first real business, convinced that if I could just make it work, it would change everything. I poured my heart and soul into it, working late nights at a cluttered desk, fueled by coffee and sheer willpower. But then, reality hit. The bills started piling up, and a wave of panic washed over me. I remember looking at the stack of envelopes and thinking, how do people manage this? Why doesn't anyone teach us this stuff? I felt defeated, like I was missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. That's when I met my mentor. He was a seasoned investor, and he looked at my mess of a business and said something that changed my life. He told me, "You're not failing because you're not working hard enough. You're failing because you don't know your numbers." My numbers? What did that even mean, the first lesson? It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. And for that, you need to know your numbers, every single one of them. He explained that if you can't read a balance sheet, you can't really run a business. He put it this way. Imagine a doctor who can't read an ECG. That's you right now. I was stunned. I'd been running a business, right? But he just smirked and said, that's the problem. It's not enough to just show up. You have to understand the language of money. So I dove in. I started staring at spreadsheets, and the more I learned, the more shocked I was. I realized I'd been losing money on things I never even noticed. It was a brutal but necessary financial wake-up call. My newfound knowledge was immediately put to the test. I was in a high-stakes negotiation, and I thought it was all about the numbers, about getting the best deal for myself. I felt that make-or-break pressure. But the person across the table said something that stopped me in my tracks. How can we make this work for both of us? It hit me then. I needed to listen more, not just talk. Negotiation isn't a battle. It's about finding common ground. Thinking back, I realized how many mistakes I'd made. There was this one huge investment opportunity I passed on. It wasn't because it was a bad deal. It was because I didn't trust myself enough to see its potential. And sometimes, the biggest mistake isn't about what you did, but what you didn't do. That missed opportunity haunted me for a long time. I looked in the mirror one day, and it finally clicked. I didn't lose because I didn't know enough. I lost because I wasn't ready for the risk. I wasn't comfortable with the uncertainty. I started seeing this pattern everywhere, especially among other young entrepreneurs. I'd be in a room with them, and they'd be all excited about some get-rich-quick idea. I had to interrupt. "You're playing with fire," I'd say. "Real businesses take time. You're not going to make a fortune overnight." They'd look at me like I was crazy, but building something real isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not about getting rich fast. It's about sticking with it when everyone else quits. This new mindset changed my entire investment strategy. I sat down with a financial advisor who told me the highest returns aren't always the best. You have to balance risk with reward, slow and steady. It's so easy to get distracted by promises of fast riches, but the highest returns often come with the highest risk. And if it sounds too good to be true, it always is. I started spotting scams from a mile away. I'd hear someone talking about a guaranteed high return, and I'd just know. There's always a catch. My focus shifted completely. I traded the flashy hustle for quiet discipline. It wasn't about making a fortune anymore. It was about saving, investing, and growing my wealth steadily, sustainably. And then one day it happened. A deal closed, and a check with more zeros than I'd ever seen was in my hands. The feeling was complicated. I was excited, of course, but I also felt a deep sense of responsibility. This was just the beginning. But now I had the tools to make it last. Looking back is a strange experience. I sometimes watch old videos of my younger self, making all the classic mistakes, and I just have to smile. I can't believe how far I've come. But I wouldn't be here if I hadn't made those mistakes. They were my greatest teachers. The best mentors teach you more than just strategies. They teach you how to think, how to adapt, and most importantly, how to keep pushing when everything seems uncertain. We're always so focused on the short-term wins, but true freedom comes when you learn to think long-term. One day, I found myself standing at a podium, sharing my story. I told them I used to think I had to hustle harder than anyone else. But what I really needed to learn was how to work smarter, invest better, and be patient. And right when I was getting comfortable, my phone rang. It was the call I'd been preparing for, a massive opportunity. I just smiled. This is the moment I've been waiting for. It's time to take it. Of course, there's always fear. A friend asked me, "What if it doesn't work out? What if you lose everything?" And I told him, "If I don't take risks, I'll never grow. Comfort zones kill progress." True financial freedom isn't about a big payday. It's about taking control. Control of your time, control of your decisions, control of your future. And it all starts by making the right choices today. I finally get it now. The struggle was part of the journey, the failures were lessons in disguise, and now my once struggling business is thriving. I'm relaxed, I'm confident, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. I can finally enjoy the view. We've learned so much together today, but remember, this is just the start. Now that you've unlocked the first steps to financial freedom, are you ready to take the next one? Check out our next video to learn how to make your money work for you. The real journey is just beginning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.